All right, so I've got Mama Dr. Jones herself, Dr. Danielle, and we're just going to go through 10 questions that I ask everybody that comes on to the podcast about their YouTube channel. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What is your number one piece of advice that you would give to somebody just starting out on YouTube?
My number one piece of advice is to learn the community, learn the platform, and understand what content does well on YouTube and why. Just like any other platform, there are trends, there are communities, and there are ways to share content that's going to get what you're saying in front of more eyes if you do it kind of in the right way for the culture of that platform.
What is the number one regret you have when it comes to your YouTube career?
Probably just not starting sooner. I think that I waited a long time. I had been online sharing information a long time, and I don't think I realized the massive impact that you can have on YouTube. Even after I started my channel, I don't think I realized it for a long time. So if I could go back, I would have started years earlier.
Is there a reason why you didn't? Did you always have it in the back of your mind, or did you not even consider it really until you started?
I don't even think I thought of it as a possibility. It seemed so hard to make video content, and I just never even considered that I would be good at that. And it just was intimidating, but it's not, I mean, it's hard. It's a ton of work, but it's not so hard that anybody should not give it a try. I think just trying. And what really got me to do it was I was like, I'll do 6 weeks. I will do 6 weeks of putting out X number of videos, and then we'll reevaluate and see, has it been worth the time? Am I enjoying it? And am I improving with what I'm making? And after that 6 weeks, there's no way I could deny, like, this is doing great. I'm enjoying it. We have to keep going.
Yeah. What video are you most proud of and why?
There are so many videos on the channel that I'm really proud of, and it's not even the ones that get the most views. The ones that get the most views tend to be like reactions to I didn't know I was pregnant and stuff, which are still great and very educational. But honestly, I'm so proud of the work that we've been able to do with transgender advocacy and sharing information during the pandemic and talking about the COVID vaccine and pregnancy and just things that make a very real impact on people's lives. And I'm so proud just to be able to have a space to share that kind of really important, actually life-changing and helping information. If you added up all the people I could see in my entire career as a physician and the impact I could make from that standpoint, it wouldn't even get close to 1 or 2 videos. So it feels good to be able to share reliable information to that many people.
Yeah, I mean, there's something really incredible about being able to have a platform and being able to share, your education and knowledge and experience with so many people. I can imagine it would feel really good or really fulfilling.
Yeah, it's been a highlight for sure.
Yeah. What is your highest viewed video on your channel, and how did that change or affect your channel in any way?
So the highest viewed video I have is a reaction I did to I didn't know I was pregnant, and I started my channel in January 2019 and posted it in July 2019, and for some reason, the algorithm just took off with that video and it got 1 million views all of a sudden when most of my videos were getting like 10,000, and I got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I remember sitting and just refreshing and going like, this is insane. This must be an accident. What is happening? Because I never started the channel intending for it to just explode. It was truly just a place for me to put information and hope someone would see it. And so at that point, I was like, this is really important. I can do something really good with this. I have all these people watching now. I need to make sure that I share good information with them. And it changed my channel completely. I mean, the trajectory of my growth just massively changed. How much money I was making there. Actually, I don't even think up until that point I knew you could make money on YouTube. But just like I happened to have my AdSense set up and I was like, this is crazy. I'm actually making money from this, sharing information that I think is good. It was crazy. I mean, you can tell from me talking about it, like it still seems like it wasn't real. And then that kind of propelled me into my next phase of YouTube, which was getting to connect with more people. So now I've gotten to do really great interviews with like Sierra Schulze about her miscarriage, which shares, great information about a topic that people need to talk about and don't talk about as much. And then talking to Sean Johnson about being an elite gymnast while you're pregnant and just all kinds of things that I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do.
I've had both of them on the podcast, both really, really awesome women. How many subscribers did you have prior to uploading that video? And then how many did you have, after it went viral?
I need to look back and see exactly how many subscribers I've gotten from that single video, but I remember having been on a trip and telling one of my friends, I hope I have 100,000 subscribers by January. And that was before the video went viral. And I had, by the next January, like 250,000. So it totally changed the trajectory of my growth. I mean, it had to be 20, 50, 100,000. Even when I collabed with Dr. Mike, I got a lot of subscribers from being on the channel with him because he has a massive audience. And it didn't compare even closely to the amount of people that found me from that video.
I don't think there's any faster way to grow on YouTube than a video really taking off and going viral. I mean, yeah, collabing with big YouTubers is definitely helpful, but just one video on one person's channel, it can only get you so far.
Yeah.
But a viral video
it's interesting too, because I've tried so many times like to figure out like, you have videos will do well, they'll perform well, but you're kind of constantly like, how do I make it hit the algorithm right again?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you can do all the right things and get really good views on YouTube, but the virality of a single video, you just have to like hit all these points correctly, and it has to just mesh together. I don't know that you can purposefully recreate that, at least not in the way that it happened for me.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to YouTube?
My biggest challenge is definitely finding time and quiet space to film, especially now that my kids are home all the time in the pandemic. And I think that I kind of miss having a real schedule where I knew I could just film every Thursday or every Friday or whatever it was. So that's my challenge now, is just balancing that. And then I think second to that is I have a really hard time not internalizing the mean comments. And you could get thousands of really great comments, but I really think so hard on these people who are just mean for no reason. And I have been gradually working through filtering that out as well. So,
yeah. I mean, what type of hate do you get? They just don't agree with the way you like your thoughts, your opinions, or?
I mean, some people don't think that I should put any ads on any of my videos because I'm a doctor and I make money at work, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. Like, spend a lot of my time and money on this channel, and I'm going to put ads on the videos. And then people get angry. I mean, talking about the COVID vaccine or the COVID vaccine and pregnancy. I talk a lot about really taboo topics too, sex ed, sex in general. I mean, just things that tend to be kind of inflammatory, home birth, hospital birth, midwives. I mean, all of these things that people have very strong opinions about come up on my channel a lot. So
yeah, now that you're mentioning it, I'm like, oh yeah, you must get a lot of comments. I mean, was there any point in your channel where you got it so much and you're like, it kind of took you back a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a video about why I use gender neutral language, and that's like saying people who are pregnant or people who want to become pregnant, and not just women. And that kind of spanned from, I would get comments here and there from people saying, hey, will you try to use more gender neutral language? And my initial gut reaction was like, why would I do that? I work in a very gendered field. 99.9% of my patients identify as women. This is dumb. And then I sat with that a little bit and I thought, like, why are these people reaching out and saying this? It must be because they feel marginalized out of this health information that they really need, but they feel like they aren't included in. And so I made an effort to just try to use neutral language for a while, and it was exceptionally easy. And I thought, I have to keep doing this. It matters. People need this information. And there's a bunch of people who really, really hate that. And then these people who are kind of radical feminists who don't believe that trans men should be included in gynecology education and that non-binary people. I mean, it's this whole thing, but that's the video that gets the most really angry people. But I can lean into that. I don't care. If I'm hated for not hating other people, I can handle that. It's more of the people who think that all OBGYNs are terrible, or that the, medicalized birth system is out to get them, things like this. That's a little harder because this is such a passion of mine that it feels personal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that you haven't let that stop you from moving on, because that is a tough thing. I imagine, you're kind of living your life, you're a doctor, you're doing your thing, you come onto YouTube, bam, like That is a big
Yes.
shift, getting all these opinions and some hate, and that can be tough to deal with.
Yeah. I try to just read the comments in the first hour or two after I put up a video, because that tends to be like the people who
Your
like me and know me
hardcore
and understand
fans.
what I do.
Yeah.
And then after that, I try to step back a little bit for my own mental health.
Yeah.
But I would say, even though I'm saying it like that, this is because I am sensitive, not because I get that much hate. Actually, I have very, very positive experience on YouTube, and like my comment section, even after those first 2 hours, tends to be very positive and supportive of each other. It's not toxic at all. So I just am sensitive.
Yeah. No, I mean, I imagine most people would be. Who are your favorite YouTube creators to watch as a viewer?
I love watching Philip DeFranco, just because that's a good way for me to get like a quick dose of the news.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and watch the news all the time. So I appreciate him giving kind of a mix of internet news and world news and US news. Who else do I watch regularly? I don't know that I have a lot of others that I watch regularly, but I definitely love like comedy YouTube, Danny Gonzalez, Cody Ko, all of those kinds of creators. And I think they have like a whole community. I like all of them. And yeah, I think those are the only ones that and Jarvis Johnson. Love him. I think he's wonderful.
Awesome. What is your number one tip for coming up with new video ideas?
It's so hard to give a tip that other people can use, because mine is just like, this is what I do for a living. So I probably have less trouble coming up with ideas than people who are making other types of content. Mm-hmm. But I think finding something you're truly passionate about makes it so much easier. Like, I would be so bad to get on YouTube and talk about fashion or makeup, because I just don't know anything about those. I don't love those things. So anything you can find in life, which everybody has passions to talk about, makes it much easier to come up with content. And I always keep kind of a notes app on my phone where I can just write down something really quick if it crosses my mind. And we have a Trello board where we put all of those. So I think that's helpful to just kind of keep organized and always have something in the works.
Yeah, definitely. Why do you think people watch your channel?
I think I've asked myself this a bazillion times, and I can't always come up with an answer. But from what people tell me, I think that it's a combination of pregnancy is a topic that's really interesting, even to the general population. If they don't ever want to be pregnant, if they can't become pregnant, or if they've been pregnant or are pregnant, like, this is a very clickable topic. And I just got really lucky that it's like my actual job as well. And then aside from that, I think I share information in a way that tries to be very non-authoritative and relatable, just to give people the information and let them make a decision. So I hope that people come to my channel and don't feel judged. I just did a video on home birth versus hospital birth. And while I have a very clear bias and preference for hospital birth, both because of who I am and because of what I do, I try to lay it out in a way that really presented, like, here's the facts, make your own decisions. And I think that that's something we need more of, instead of people just yelling at everybody to, do what they think is best. So hopefully that's why.
Yeah. What is your superpower that has contributed to your success on YouTube?
So myself and Dr. Mike both call this edutainment, and it's this kind of ability to mix in a little bit of entertaining information with the educational part. And I think that that's why there are some doctor channels who have really, really great information but never get massive audiences, because you have to be able to share it in a way that people don't know they're coming there to learn. They think they're coming to be entertained, but they leave with more knowledge. And so I think that's my quote unquote superpower, sharing things in a way that I trick you into learning something along the way.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much, Dr. Danielle, for being here on the podcast, sharing all of your wisdom and knowledge of being a doctor YouTube star. For anybody not familiar with you and your content, where can they find you?
Thank you for having me. I am Mom and Dr. Jones on all platforms, probably too many social platforms, and that's what my channel name is as well.
Awesome. It'll be linked in the description as well. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.